4 is list all the things you either want to buy or be a part of, i.e. upcoming conventions, mangas, animes, that cute plushie, or even all of these beautiful things here at our Artist Alley that you wanted to buy when you come here. Yes, I plugged our Artist Alley. Please stop by. What you do is you put them in your, what I like to call your wants column. Now, quick explanation about wants. When it comes to wants, we want a lot of things in this world. We are just wired like that by human nature, and that's just how it goes. So what you should consider is not necessarily every little want, but the things that you know that just, they eat away at you, if I can put it in a better way. Or best example is, how many of you are going to Fanime this year? How many of you have no idea how you're going to pay for it? How many of you know how to pay for it, but have yet started to budget for it? Meaning, you're still spending money on Slurpees when you should be putting money away for anime. It's a month and a half away, so of course I'm going to bless you on it. And you didn't bring me one? What's wrong with that? Exactly. Or who wants the new DSi XL? Right. Yeah. And you want to budget that and make that work? There you go. So what you do in bigger expenses, whether it be going to Fanime, or going to another convention, or buying your DSi XL, yay, in Burgundy. The goal is to take the bigger items and break them down into smaller bits and pieces. So, say on my example, I have Fanime 2010 as $400. Keep in mind, it's not going to be $400 for everybody. It may be 6, 7, 8, depending on where you live and what you intend to do when you get to Fanime. What I'm currently working on is every time I get paid from from my work, I put $100 away, thereby having the $400 the minute I walk in the door. And anything else I save after that, that's fun money to go spend in the dealer's room, or in my case, the Artist Alley, because I don't know, I'm not a dealer's room person. Anyway, so consider breaking it up like that. And if you can't break it up to $100 each, consider $20 a week, or $50 a week, or even $10 a week if you start early enough. But $10 a week, really you have to start like, June 1st, 2010 for 2011. So think about that when you do that, okay? Then, step 5, figure out exactly how much you plan to make this month. Now, if you have a salary, how many of you know what a salary is? Yeah. Me too, but mine's not consistent. If you have a set salary, meaning you know this is how much you're going to get at a certain time or date in the month, do it that way. If you're an hourly person, or you're like me, who's kind of on pay-as-you-go kind of situations, you try to at least do a nice rough guesstimate. Usually I would say at least no less than $100 difference between what you normally make and what you may be expecting to make. And in doing so, you at least know how much money you've got to play with to begin with. Even if plans change, whether, in certain cases in some cases I've had friends who lost their jobs because they had their budgets. When they got their final checks, they were able to pay off everything they were able to pay off. So be sure to guesstimate at all times. And always make sure, and also know when you get paid. If you don't know when you get paid, you just roll it to direct deposit, that's kind of bad on you, first of all. And then B, it's also bad on your budget, because then you start spending money and not remembering where your budget is. So remember what days you get paid. And in doing so, you adjust your budget accordingly. Yeah. Then, step 6, you begin, the unfun part, I like to call it, begin to deduct your bills and supplies from your income. I don't like this part, because that means I have to pay my bills. Who wants to pay their bills in this days and age, okay? Nobody. Okay? No. I have a business that makes nice money, and I still
for bailouts now.
Okay. Where's my bailout? Where's my, $2,700 bailout, okay? No, I don't get one. I know, right? Boo. And to those of you who have parents involved in the economy, I cannot apologize, because unfortunately I am one of the many who were slaughtered in the economy. So I would say, deduct your bills from both your supplies as well as your bills. Whatever's left after that, that's your fun money, or that's what I call it, fun money, but it really should be your savings. I'm gonna make sure that the camera gets savings.
That's awesome.
Now, unfortunately, in my case, the savings turns into the fun money, but that's what it said. So, at the bottom of the personal budget, which is on the back, in case you probably, because I put a little note at the bottom, but on the back is like that, you can see that the bills all totaled up, and there's my supplies. So I had a total of, what? That's terrible, I didn't write it. $1,060 of bills. I hate to say it, many people nowadays probably have double or triple that, which really sucks. Henceforth, where's our balance? So I take that away from the 2,300-ish keyword dollars that I have, and then you have this little extra of $1,240. I wish I had that much extra in my bank account, alas, but why are you counting? I just double checked it with the calculator, okay. Sorry, I had to do it somewhat. So, in essence, when budgeting, count your pennies, watch out for those fees, and how many of you have credit cards and are 18? Yeah, good. None of your team. Well, how many of you know that as of February 2nd of this year, you can't get a credit card unless you can A, prove that you can financially pay for it, or B, have a parent co-sign? Yeah. So before you go and buy that credit card, try to apply for that credit card, you may want to stop and think about, can you really afford it? Because the credit card companies have to have documentation showing that you can afford to pay for it. If they don't, they can't give it to you unless you get your mom or your dad to hook you up. And 9 out of 10 times, because I bet your parents are probably having the same credit issue, they probably will stop you from getting that credit card. So, from my personal experience, don't get one if you can help it. It's supposed to be for emergencies. Yeah, emergencies, not going to Juicy Couture, which was my weakness back when I was younger. When I was 18. What was that? No, I was still spending that much money. I was still spending way too much money on anime. I've been a geek all my life, but I officially started buying at 12. So, and I'm now 22, so, hold on. Yes, and I've now switched over. Not only do I buy animes, I buy Korean dramas, which are triple the price of anime. Yeah. So I have to be very picky about my dramas. I only have like 2 that I really had to buy.
Drama equals money.
Yes, I like that. Drama equals money. It's a good principle. I'll remember that. Put that in our panel going forward. So, in a nutshell, that's budgeting in a nutshell. There is many different ways you can budget, but the quintessential point is protect yourself and keep as much money in your bank account as possible. This is more fun. And then, of course, you can buy that anime you've been wanting. So long. Okay. Next topic, woohoo, is careers and education. This is the wrong place to be talking about that, I like to say. Only because of the fact that you get it all the time. How many people in here who aren't listening are probably like, oh, we have to go to college, or oh, we have to figure out what we're going to do about FAFSA, or oh, what am I going to do when I get out of here, which will be very soon for some of the people in this room who aren't listening. And it's something to consider. I always like to say, I'm going to start first of all with your options in just general for post-high school. First, of course, is college. And of course, in my notes I wrote, yay, because for some people, college isn't for them. I hate to say that college isn't for them, but there are backup options for that, i.e. there are vocational schools, there are apprenticeships, there are internships, that all those things that if there is something that you want there is a career field that you want to go into, there is definitely an avenue or a form of a path that you can take. Now, paths aren't everything, as Stephen Savage so awesomely reminded us of this morning, where he said that, sometimes following the exact career path is not always going to take you to exactly where you want to go. So keep that in mind. Your next option, of course, is heading straight into the workforce. Go getting a job at Jamba Juice. Yeah. How many of you are enthused about that? Except for the fact that you get Jamba Juice. Not really. In this economy, it's kind of hard to work for just basic minimum wage and be able to do everything you want to do, including go to Fanime 2010, which is my next convention. Haha. Plug? Yeah. So, definitely, if you do consider going into the workforce as an entry-level position, consider what you can learn in your entry-level position and what you wish to accomplish in your position. Most people will just go find the first job possible, but here's a thought for you. Go and get a job, or at least look for a job in an area that you want to work in, period. So, for example, say you want to go into animation. Okay. Where's that good thought? Let's think about that. Of course, yes, there's art school, and of course, yes, there is working in internships in nice publishing art companies. But nowadays, with the economy being the way it is, if they're not going digital, they're not hiring at all. Here's a thought. Have you guys ever considered working at a comic book store? Have you ever considered working maybe if you're more into fashion or textile designs, have you ever considered working at a screen printer shop? Or at a, come to me, or at a crafting shop, or at Joann's. Yes, you learn a lot working at Joann's or Michael's, or even Hancock Fabrics, wherever. If anybody knows where there's one in the Bay Area, y'all need to give me a call, because I'm looking for one. Basically, you don't necessarily have to go into a big company right away. You can start from basically your entry-level job and build your way up.
You don't need to go to a big company at all.
Yeah, well, that's true, because there are now a lot of smaller companies that are just like, sure, you want to learn how to program? Here, we'll show you. And they'll not only show you, they'll probably teach you, and they'll probably end up putting you on projects that will assist the company. So it's like a win-win. You get the experience, you get the training with like half the cost, I guess you could say. Not really. It's important to also, if you do decide to go into something, into a business field that is heavy on certifications, i.e. computer programming, IT, healthcare, even in politics, and even in the writing field, whether that be journalism, English studies, educational studies, that sort of thing, that you do go and go back to school, even though you don't want to, and get your accreditations. But it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that you don't have to not get started. You can still work in a field that you enjoy and still get the credit and the training while still going to school. So that way it's not really a lose-lose and I don't have any fun.